Are you feeling disempowered on your twin flame journey? Are you afraid to do certain things in case you rock the boat? Are you getting guidance that goes against certain parts that you need to actually heal yourself? This is the thing, and this is what I've noticed. We're getting a lot of external guidance and rules. And that's okay, because a lot of them are connected to the twin flame dynamic. But we have to remember that each journey is individual. So your journey is going to be different to everyone else's. And this is why it's so important to listen to your intuition and to listen to what is right for you, because your healing is the most important thing here. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. And this has been really triggering for me at the moment. Don't text them. Give them space. Let them do their thing. And I'm all for that. I'm all for not being in chaser energy. But sometimes, and for me, I'm going to explain for me especially and what this is connected to. Sometimes the rules or guidances of other people's journeys don't fit in alignment with what you need to heal. So one of my biggest wounds is not speaking up. In all relationships, I've been so quiet. I was quietened as a child. I was quietened my whole life. My ex-partners used to be narcissistic and used to tell me to fucking shut the fuck up. They told me my opinion didn't matter. I feared confrontation. I was always walking on eggshells. I feared to set boundaries in relationships. I feared to, be empowered really, because a part of me felt if I do it this way, that person will love me. But that didn't work. And I actually disrespected myself in doing that. And what I noticed on my twin flame journey is that I was allowing things to happen that disrespected me. And that was because I was disrespecting myself by not setting a boundary. And I was like, I can't speak my truth because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to text them. You're not supposed to chase and all this fucking shit, which is fine. And I'm not chasing. This is not about chasing. This is not about running after them and asking them for whatever. This is about you. And in playing by the rules, I was neglecting to heal one of my biggest fucking wounds, which is owning my voice. And that was disempowering me. I was feeling weak and I was in this waiting energy. I was allowing, this is one of the things that really, really triggers me, right? One of the things that I'm so passionate about is women being in independence. Women owning their voices. Women not being a fucking victim of patriarchy anymore. And this is the whole objective of twin flame connections, of unconditionally loving connections. It's interdependence, right? And this thing about letting the divine masculine do the running, or do the coming back, or coming back when they're ready, and doing all that's control. We're told this rule or guideline that the divine masculine has to come back into his power. This is fair enough. This is such an oxymoron. This is really pulling my brain apart at the moment, right? We're supposed to be equal. We're supposed to be empowered together. We're both supposed to come into our divine energy, which is great, and I understand that part. But yeah, you're sitting there like a quiet little mouse going, I let you control. I let you do everything, and I just won't face my side. And that's effectively what I was doing. I was literally going, you have to wait for him to come back. You have to give him space. You have to let him control. And that's control. It's an imbalanced fucking dynamic. And I was effectively sitting here ignoring my biggest wound, which is owning my fucking voice, disempowering myself by letting him control the narrative. And I was literally in this waiting energy, like a fucking lovesick teenager, not healing. You know what I mean? I thought I was healing. I was doing healing. But at the same time, I was letting patterns repeat, and I was disrespecting myself, and I wasn't choosing my fucking voice. And I kept getting this, I was watching this reader, and she's I had to stop watching her. She was constantly saying, don't reach out, don't give him an ultimatum, don't do this. And I was like, you're effectively telling me to shut the fuck up, like I've been told my whole fucking life. so sorry, but that was so triggering. And I know our triggers are ours to heal. So how am I supposed to fucking heal using my fucking voice when I'm told not to use my voice? Anyway, so that was a little bit high energy and high triggering for me, as you can see. And I had to sit with that. And I got some guidance from my friend. And, when we both came to the conclusion together, I am disempowering myself. I'm not healing this big wound because I'm following the fucking rules. And then she was like, call them guidelines instead. So this is the thing. We're listening to all that advice from the external, which is great. A lot of it makes sense. And this is the thing. We have to allow and trust. And that's beautiful. Trust in the 5D side of things. Trust that, everything will align. Trust that they will come into their divine masculine energy and you into divine feminine, or vice versa, whatever it is. But how are you supposed to be empowered if you're not listening to your own wounding and your own side of things? You get me? I've been told, don't text him, don't chase. And I wasn't chasing. I'm not chasing. But I needed to set a few of my own boundaries. And they were self-boundaries as well. Because I kept allowing myself to be disrespected. Because I was disrespecting myself. I was allowing an old pattern of mine to repeat. Because I wasn't using my voice. You know what I mean? And I was disempowering myself, weakening myself. Because I was listening to the rules rather than my intuition. So this is why it's so important. And, I did reach out and I did explain my side to my twin, not as a way of chasing, but as a way of saying, look, I have to do it this way. Or, this is, it wasn't good for me. I was hurting. I was in pain. Something has to change. I can't allow that kind of energy back into my life. And that was it. He wasn't doing, we repeated a pattern. The same thing happened a second time. And I don't repeat patterns anymore. If I see something happen more than once, it's a fucking lesson. You have to own that and you have to sit with it. But how am I supposed to repeat or heal the repeated pattern if I'm ignoring my voice because I'm being told by fucking everyone, don't fucking say anything? Ugh! Sorry. That's the pain I was feeling inside. I was getting this energetic fucking vibration of shut the fuck up, Angela. Shut the fuck up, Angela. Don't use your voice. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? And I was afraid to say anything because I was like, oh my God, if I say this, he's going to leave or we're already in separation. It wasn't like we were actually in communication. So, I was saying to myself, I'll wait for him to contact me again before I say my truth. That's disempowering. That's letting him control the dynamic. That's me not using my voice. That's not me speaking up. How am I supposed to expect him to be in his empowerment when I'm like a weak little fucking mouse that won't fucking say anything? Do you get me? How am I supposed to be empowered if I'm not empowering myself? If I'm ignoring a big wound because I'm following the fucking rules? Fuck off. There is no rules. Sorry, there are so many things that I've learned from other twin flames. Guidances. Certain things there, and this runner chaser energy, take your energy back, all of it. It's brilliant fucking advice. I am 100% on board with that. This journey is about your healing. It's your healing. The main objective here is that you come back to a place of unconditional love within yourself by doing that inner work. Love that. Love it. Love that advice. Brilliant advice. Perfect advice. But if one of your biggest wounds, if it's anything like me, and I know a lot of us have gone through this, if one of your biggest fucking wounds is around persecution, around being quietened, around not using your voice, and being told to shut up, fear of owning your side of the relationship, being in relationships and the only time you'd say anything was to apologize for their behavior because you were afraid to fucking own your side. And that's another thing that I did a video on this last week. You have to own your part of this twin flame journey. At one stage, I was so angry with him. I was so bitter. I was so hurt by what he was doing. But I had to ask myself, no. He's doing things based on his level of healing and wounding, and he's doing his side. Give him the space to do that. Fine. separate that for a second. I was allowing this to happen because I didn't respect myself enough to set boundaries and use my voice. You know, and this is the funny thing. Before the second time, in between, we had separation, right? And I said to a friend of mine, I'm not going to, you know, give myself to him again until things change. I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to set a boundary. Guess what happened? I forgot I even fucking said that till after it happened again. And it's only when the repeated pattern happened that I was like, shit, we're obviously not, like, I thought we had done some intense healing in that separation period, but to have a repeated pattern means this is something that needs to be healed. Why did the pattern repeat? It's not because he did wrong, he did, but it's because I allowed it to happen. I had to own my side of it. But I can't just turn around and say, I understand this happened. I see the repeated pattern, but because I can't contact him, I just have to sit here and wait for him to contact me, which is effectively repeating the fucking pattern. So I had to find my empowerment again by throwing away the rule book. Now, not all of it. I once again say there's so many really beneficial guidelines. Don't chase. Take your power back. Follow your life's purpose. Do your own healing. Get to a place of self-love. This is all really good advice. But once again, I come back to it. If your biggest wound is speaking your truth, or lack of speaking your truth, you can't not speak your truth just based on those guidelines. Do you know what I mean? So I had to speak to him. I had to reach out. I had to say what I was feeling. And I feel fantastic. I really do. You know what I mean? I was like, as I said, I wasn't going to actually send a message until after he contacted me again, which was literally let him control the dynamic. And this is coming back to this interdependence shit. I will not be fucking silenced by the fucking patriarchy. And that's it. Like, you know, I'm going to use my fucking voice. And I had to, like, you know, if I had been, I was in this waiting energy. I was in this anger. I was in this bitterness towards him. And I was starting to own my side of it. But I was still angry. I was still bitter. And I was still in a waiting energy. And this was making me weak. This was disempowering who I was. And, you know, that will gravitate into other areas of my life. And I was like, I cannot slow down in my life. I'm on my purpose path. I have to take my power back. And the only way I could do that was by speaking my truth. And I feel so good. I think he had my number blocked, so it took a while to deliver. But when it delivered, there was just this sense of calm. I wasn't expecting a reply. I still haven't heard from him anyway. But the day after I sent that, I felt so energetically connected to him, stronger than I felt in such a long time. And I just knew in my heart and soul, I was like, you did the right thing. Because I realized by me being disempowered, he was mirroring that energy as well. The two of us were literally in weak, waiting, disempowered energy. But I owned my shit. That will reflect back to him. If I expect him to be in divine masculine energy, I need to be in divine feminine energy. So I need to own my fucking shit. And I feel so much stronger now because of that. You know, and I'm back in the energy of it will happen when it will happen. I trust it will happen in divine timing. I trust that I don't need to chase. I trust that I will do my shit and he will do his shit. And I trust that he will come back when he's ready. I don't need to run after him anymore. I don't need an explanation, or I don't need even a reply for that message, because I did what I needed to do for me. It wasn't about him. It was about me. And that was so empowering again. And I feel so much better. Oh my God. I went from this fucking icky, weak, disempowered, waiting mode energy, literally feeling like a fucking lovesick teenager with no balls, to actually feeling empowered in my feminine energy again, because I spoke my truth. So the biggest message I'm trying to tell you here today is listen to your own inner guidance. Don't avoid certain things because one of the rules contradicts it. And that's the reason I wasn't doing it. It was because I was like, you know, I have to play by the rules. There is only rules there are individual rules for your journey. They're not rules, they're guidelines. What is right for you? What is your intuition telling you? What do you need to heal? Because if you're ignoring a part of your healing because you're trying to play by the rules, you're not healing it. You know what I mean? I couldn't continue to ignore a part of my biggest wounding because I needed to play by the fucking rules. Your journey is not the same as everyone else. Yes, there's similarities. Yes, there's a collective energy. There's a collective vibration. Yes, there is importance to doing your own inner work. But if you're keep being told, don't reach out to them, but your biggest fucking wound is about speaking your truth, then you kind of have to. And you're not, as I said, you're not doing it as a chasing energy. You're doing it to heal your side. And when you heal your side, they heal their side. This is mirrored energy. You come into empowerment, they come into empowerment. So don't weaken yourself and ignore parts of your healing just because you think you're going to rock the boat or fuck things up. Like the way I see it, right? We were going to be in separation for whatever length of time. And then I was going to wait for him to come back. And then I was going to say my truth. And then there was going to be more separation. Whereas if I say it now, hopefully that separation would be just as long as it would have been before I had intended to say it. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully by doing, well, no, not hopefully. Because I worked on something I needed to heal, because I owned my voice and empowered myself again, it means separation will be shorter. But if I hadn't have healed, and like another thing I was saying with my friend was like, you know, I'm a kind of out of sight, out of mind person. So I've got great discipline when I don't have biscuits in the fridge or in the house. So, you know, I could keep saying to myself, I will say this thing when he comes back. But then he'd come back and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I would have forgotten again about everything I wanted to heal. So I would have delayed fucking union again because I would have been in the energy of, oh my God, I'm an excited teenager energy, forgetting what I needed to heal. So I needed to heal the thing now before he came back so that I wouldn't forget to heal it because of all this love puppy love energy. But anyway, so that's the thing. You have to do the thing when you're guided to do it. Heal your shit. That's all that matters right now. Because when you heal, that will mirror back to them anyway. But it's just so important to own your side of it and do what is right for you. Do what's right for you. Forget the guidelines and the rules that you're hearing from everyone else. Well, some of them are good. But listen to what your heart and soul is telling you. If you want to reach out, you reach out. But don't do it in chaser energy. Do it because it's a part of your growth and your healing. Use your voice. Empower yourself. This is an interdependent relationship. So you should be you have every right to speak what is on your mind. You have every right to communicate how you are feeling. This is so important. How are you going to heal if you're ignoring that side of yourself? This is how we gain our empowerment. That's how they will mirror back that empowerment. You will be in your divine energy and they will be in theirs. But if you're that weak little mouse in the corner, ignoring your voice, this is disempowerment. And that's going to reflect back as well. You need to start respecting yourself and your boundaries and doing what is right for you. And this will empower the connection rather than disempower it. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.